How did ESPN end up with the most popular sports show they never created? Why did Charles Barkley go from "they can't fire us" to
Times have changed, kidding. We got to go back to kissing ass.
and how did a potential billion-dollar lawsuit turn into the most unlikely partnership in sports media? I'm your host Kyle, and welcome to Basketball Business, where we uncover the money moves behind the hardwood. Today, we're diving deep into the unprecedented deal that's sending inside the NBA to ESPN and how a last-minute negotiation turned the ugliest legal battle in NBA media history into an unlikely alliance. Let's jump right in. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind to July. The NBA had just signed a massive new media rights deal worth nearly $80 billion, cutting out Warner Bros. Discovery from their longtime position as an NBA broadcaster. WBD, feeling they were wronged during the negotiation process, did what any dropped media company would do. They sued the NBA. The lawsuit centered around a matching rights clause in their contract. WBD claimed they had the right to match Amazon's streaming offer, while the NBA argued they couldn't. Billions of dollars were at stake, but more importantly, so was the future of Inside the NBA. After 34 years and 21 Emmy Awards, this show has become more than just a basketball show. It's appointment viewing that even casual fans tune in for. Enter Jimmy Pitaro, the chairman of ESPN. 3 weeks ago, he picked up the phone and called Luis Silberwasser, his counterpart at TNT Sports, with a proposition that would change the landscape of NBA coverage. The conversation probably went something like this.
Hey, you've got two problems I think I can help solve. You're suing the NBA, which we both know you'll lose, and you're about to lose your crown jewel show. Meanwhile, we can't create a decent pregame show to save our lives. What if we could help each other out?
The result? A groundbreaking licensing deal that will see Inside the NBA air on ESPN and ABC starting in the 2025-26 season, while still being produced by TNT Sports in Atlanta. It's unprecedented in sports media. The biggest show on one network will now air on their direct competitor, while still being made by their original crew.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving!
Here's how this landmark deal breaks down. Starting with the 2025-26 season, Inside the NBA will air on ESPN and ABC, but not just for random Tuesday night games. We're talking about the NBA's biggest moments, the season's opening and final weeks, Christmas Day, All-Star Weekend, and for the first time ever, the NBA Finals. They'll also cover every ABC game after January 1st, giving the crew more big market matchups than ever before. The show isn't just changing channels, it's expanding its reach while keeping its soul. TNT Sports will maintain complete editorial control, producing the show from their Atlanta studios with the same crew that's been making magic happen for decades. Think of it like ESPN's deal with Pat McAfee. He gets to do his show his way, with his crew, from his studio, while reaching ESPN's massive audience. It's a new playbook for sports media where the talent keeps creative control while the network provides a platform. McAfee showed it could work, and now Inside the NBA is taking it to another level. Speaking of the crew, Charles, Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie all remain TNT employees and will still be available for other Warner Bros. Discovery projects. In fact, there's already talk of an Inside Sports show in development that would take their chemistry beyond basketball. Chuck's massive 10-year, $200 million contract stays intact, and he won't have to do ESPN's famous car wash of appearances across different shows. On the business side, Warner Bros. Discovery isn't walking away empty-handed. They're getting 13 Big 12 football games and 15 men's college basketball games from ESPN, plus an international package of over 100 NBA games for markets in Northern Europe and Latin America. They also score a global content license for NBA content through TNT Sports, Bleacher Report, and House of Highlights, with no rights fees for the next 11 years. The deal even includes a 5-year extension of their partnership with NBA.com. All told, these elements should generate about $350 million in revenue for Warner Bros. Discovery over the lifetime of the agreement. This isn't just a content swap, It's a face-saving exit strategy for WBD. They dropped their lawsuit against the NBA, which claimed the league violated a matching rights clause by making that streaming deal with Amazon. Instead of risking embarrassing revelations during the discovery process of a trial, they get to walk away with their dignity and their signature show intact. As one industry source put it, the best way to judge a trade is to ask, who ends up with the best player? Well, ESPN got Sir Charles, what a steal for them. But in reality, this might be the rare deal where everybody wins: the networks, the talent, and most importantly, the fans. Instead, the NBA's chemistry and candor will remain on the air, now reach more viewers than ever before. The show will be featured during NBA's biggest moments, including the finals, which it never had access to before. There are still some questions to be answered. Shaq's contract expires in July 2025, right before the transition. ESPN executives have been crystal clear about one thing: they're not going to tinker with the formula. This means no Stephen A. Smith joining the desk, despite his upcoming contract negotiations and push to become ESPN's first $100 million talent. There's been buzz about potential alternate broadcast opportunities, similar to what we've seen with the Manning cast. We got a preview during the in-season tournament semifinals last year, when Inside the NBA and NBA Countdown did a crossover episode. However, sources close to the deal say the licensing agreement is specifically for Inside the NBA appearing on ABC/ESPN, and any additional appearances by the crew would stay on Warner Bros. Discovery platforms. The show's own stars seem uncertain about exactly what lies ahead. On their Steam Room podcast, Ernie Johnson admitted there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. Meanwhile, the Chuckster remains diplomatic, noting,
We're all in the basketball business. I want those guys to do well because if they do well, it makes basketball popular.
this isn't just about where you'll watch Sir Charles and the crew next year. It's about how the biggest players in sports media are rewriting their playbooks as streaming changes everything. In a landscape where traditional TV rights are losing value and streaming is taking over, this deal shows that sometimes the best solution isn't to beat your competition, but to join forces with them. For ESPN, this is an admission that you can't manufacture chemistry and authenticity. For TNT, it's a way to maintain their basketball culture even without airing games. And for fans, well, we get to keep watching the best sports show on television, now with an even bigger platform. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed or learned something new, please like, comment, and share with someone that you think would enjoy. Subscribe for more great content on the off-court moves that make the on-court plays. Until next time, this is Kyle with Basketball Business.